This is the prompt the AI reads from one phase of this project. The most important part isn't just what the AI is told what to do, it is what it was told not to touch. Because when the boundary is fuzzy, the model doesn't just implement, it quietly redefines the shape of the work. The last episode, the phase was the container, the place a gate fires and the place a failure stays put. But a container only contains if what's inside is bounded the right way. So the last question of this series is, what actually goes inside a phase? When people talk about working with AI, they usually ask, what do I write? A better prompt? That matters, but a better prompt still only tells the AI what to do right now. The better question is, what does the AI not get to decide? Because whenever you leave undecided, it will decide for you. 2 artifacts go into every phase, and they do different jobs. The first is the prompt, not a request, a procedure. Plan the change, touch only named files, run the gates, record what happened. The saved prompt files all follow that same skeleton. The second is the contract, the living binding rule in the decision ledger. The prompt doesn't state it, it points to it. Per D68, per D81. 81 numbered decisions that locked before the code was written. Here's one binding end-to-end. The prompt for this phase says the coalescing behavior must still work and names it the rule D068. D068 isn't in the prompt. It lives in the decision ledger. Written earlier, selection sort gets 3 labeled pointers, and when J and min land on the same slot, only min is shown. Without that rule, the screen can tell 2 stories about the same slot. The AI didn't get to decide what coalescing meant. It was already decided. The prompt just pointed at it. Now, frozen doesn't mean immortal. It means binding until superseded. D068 didn't start out as one rule. It started out as 2, D065 and D066, and they were consolidated. But the change wasn't silent. It was recorded right at the top of the file. Anyone or any model that goes looking for the old rule gets pointed at the live one. Same lesson as the gates in episode 4. The discipline isn't never change your mind. It's never change it quietly. That's the lesson. And it's the whole series in one move. Decide first, write it down, number it, freeze it, then hand the AI a bounded prompt and let it own the how. Lock the contract before you generate the code. The AI can own the how. It does not get to redefine the what. That's the build. Episode 1 made the claim. The code wasn't the project. The methodology was. Episode 2 exposed the gap. Passing tests can still miss the experience. The back half turned into a method. Roles put the human in charge of the decision. Gates caught the silent failures. Phases gave the gates somewhere to fire. Contracts decided what the AI never got to redefine. Episode 1 said the specification was the real engineering artifact. The contracts in this episode are the promise kept. None of this is about worshiping a smarter model. It's about a process that stays honest when the model is useful and stays safe when it isn't. Thanks for following the whole build. If you take one thing away from it, lock the contract before you generate the code.